correlation study. But also the hypothesis that the two syndromes have overlapping phenotypes, but the one is more severe than other, can finally raise interesting consideration on the molecular role of CHAMP1 and POGZ within a shared pathway. Then we aim to the conduction of a systematic revision of available literature and meta-analysis of clinical data reported worldwide, both for CHAMP1 and POGZ-related conditions, also in order to increase the number of available data. And then as for the molecular aspects, as we said before, we aimed to expand the epigenetic signature study, so the methylation profile study of both CHAMP1 and POGZ, and then the comparison of these epigenetic findings. And this is a work that will be made possible thanks to the collaboration with another hospital in Rome, which is the Ospedale Pediatrico Bambin Gesù, with the help of Dr. Tartaglia. And then finally, of course, this study will be very helpful to investigate the possible common therapeutic strategies. Yesterday, Professor Gasparini told you about the clinical trial that we are conducting at our institute for white Sutton syndrome. And we're having very good preliminary results, so it would be very important and very interesting to also expand the study to CHAMP1 as well. So we have all different layers of activities to do in the future, and we really hope that we can update you soon, or especially next year, maybe at the next conference. And with that said, I really want to thank my collaborators at Burlo Garofalo of Trieste, but also the teams of Professor Zollino in Rome and Marco Tartaglia. And then, of course, all the patients' family and the two foundations, and you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We may have some questions. Anybody have some questions about her research? Oh, okay.
Thank you for that great talk. I had a question about the high frequency of hypotonia in CHAMP1 patients. I was curious if you knew a little bit more about that in terms of, do you think CHAMP1 is functioning in the muscle more so than POGZ, or is there is it coming from the muscle or from the nervous system? What are your thoughts on that?
We don't have much data about that, but I think, and especially as I said, both proteins are well expressed in different tissues throughout the body. But I will say it's more about neurological aspects more than musculoskeletal one. So I would say that, but we don't have we will need more functional studies for that and to answer this question. But I will say it's more about the, again, neurodevelopment aspects.
Thank you.
We have one more for you.
Thank you for the talk. The slide where you had the comparison of like the white Sutton and CHAMP1 symptoms and all the p-values. I know some of those were low p-values, meaning like you proved your hypothesis. But exactly like what question is that? Is that the pathway leading to those symptoms is the same? Is that what was being proven?
Yes. We already know that molecularly the two proteins have very similar, not only have very similar functions, as I said, but also they directly or indirectly interact. So the hypothesis is that with a disruption of the disruption of one of the two proteins, we have loss of interaction, therefore alteration of those biological pathway. And the hypothesis is that this molecular evidence also reflects in the clinical field, and so that CHAMP1 and White Sutton syndrome may be considered as like being part of the same family of conditions for that. So we're exploring more the phenotypical aspects to prove that as well.
Okay, thank you. One more, and maybe this is more about CHAMP1. I remember last year was a joint conference, so there was a lot of presenters on CHAMP1, and I know at least I got the feeling by the end of the day that there was like some disagreements or some different thoughts about different variants perhaps doing different things, whether there's definitely a loss of function variant, but possibly something else with CHAMP. And it seemed like there was some disagreements even among researchers. And I just didn't know if how that affects your research, if it does at all, if that's something that's being looked at, or, I know you talked about potential treatment pathways. If you feel that's something that needs to be known before treatment pathways can be looked at.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And this is also like why we started this research, to contribute to this study. And it's not only to prove if there's overlapping, if these are overlapping conditions that therefore can be also treated in the similar way, but also I feel that also negative results may be important. So also to prove that the two conditions are actually separate entities, So I think either results will be very important also to give a direction to the current research. But of course, I think that also the fact that CHAMP1 and POGZ could be considered together, it's a very recent and a very young field of research. So these are the very first steps, and especially this study is as far as we know, is the very first phenotypical studies on these two conditions. So definitely we will need more data and we will need more studies, but that's the aim of this research.
Thank you so much for your presentation, for your research, and for your time. We greatly appreciate you presenting for us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And we will be excited to hear about your research next year.
Yeah, hopefully I can update you with more findings.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.